Far away, in a world untouched by pain, where people live in true peace and endless love. No wars, no hunger, and no despair. Where everyone loves everyone. A place without suffering, without sadness, without anger. And today, I'm going to show you the complete opposite of that dream world. Because we are going to play Fear and Hunger Termina. Let's get right into it. I booted up my game and chose the Yellow Mage as my character. Why is he called the Yellow Mage? Man, I don't know, maybe because he's Asian or something. I called my dude Angry Man because I was fucking pissed off. Why was I pissed off? Well, I'll explain it to you in a bit. I chose my starting gear and the only cool thing I got was the Iron Spear. My alarm clock started to ring.
It was time to loot this place.
You see, in Fear and Hunger 2, you can loot cases and trash cans to farm some sick ass loot. I was too pissed off to be social, so I told everyone to fuck off and I went on my way. I collected some cool ass plants, invaded people's houses and steal all their shit. And then I met Tanaka, a fellow Asian salaryman. But then I went deeper into the forest and saw a man getting mistaken for a log of wood.
Collect wood.
Help me! Help! I ran away, but then I started to think, I think there's something wrong with this place. I mean, I don't know, I just have this strange feeling as people are looking straight at me and just completely want to annihilate me. Meh, maybe I'm overreacting. I finally reached the local town and stole toilet paper from the town's shit house. Then a villager approaches me which initiates our first battle. Wait. Pause. For the sake of time and because of people already know how the core mechanic of the fight works in Fear and Hunger, I will do a speedrun explanation of how the fighting mechanic works in this game. And I will explain it once and only once. Okay, here goes. A fight starts and presents you with 6 options you can do in the fight. With attack, you can attack the enemy, which requires you to choose a body part to attack. Those are arms, torso, legs and head. Most of the time, every body piece has a randomized moveset, which means if you attack an arm and destroy it, they can no longer use the moveset that is connected to that arm. Only way to kill most enemies is to fully deplete their torso health or head health. Head has a very low HP but high evasion rate most of the time, around 80% or something. Destroying the legs removes that evasion rate of the head in the next turn. Skills are for using skills and spells in battle that can do damage or give you buffs. Every turn that passes you get 1 ref point that you can spend to increase your attack damage or to use spells which require a ref point as cost. For attack, 1 ref point increases damage to 30%, 2 ref points increases that damage to 40%, and 3 ref points increases the damage to 40%, but will allow your character to attack twice. Guarding raises your magical and physical defense by 50% and can also make you dodge some unique enemy attacks, which I will explain in a bit. You can also use items like throwing objects, heals or buffs, but that will cost you a turn. Equip is just for equipping different stuff, but it costs you a turn as well. Whew. Jeez, that's a lot, but I hope you can kinda see how this game works now. The villager was defeated, but his attacks made me bleed and get an infection, which I removed. Then I found a woman with knives, killed her, but her attacks made me bleed and get an infection, which I removed. I went down and saw a big masked man working and really concentrated. And I mean really concentrated, as you can see. He finally noticed me and we got ourselves in our first mini boss fight. You see, in this game, one of the game mechanics you can use is a talk option in the skill section. It kinda works like Undertale, but this will only work against a few enemies in this game. In this case, I start to rage bait him by pretending I couldn't understand him. He got triggered and removed his mask, which initiated a coin flip. Yes, there are coin flips in fights as well, and missing them can punish you really hard.
No! No, man!
Anyways, I won the coin flip and he gassed himself, which insta-killed him. Rage bait successful. I entered someone's house and approached a woman from behind, killed her and took her spare arms and legs. Then I went to another house and opened the chest. Yes, as you can see, Chests also have the coin flip mechanic. And what happens when you fail a chest coin flip? Well,
Tighten hold, please, come on. 3, 2, 1. Tighten hold, tighten hold, tighten hold.
I found my next victim, annihilated him, and finally found myself a bone saw. You see, there is another mechanic in this game. You can take off the heads of your enemies that you conquered in battle by raw sawing it off. Why would I do this? Well, I'll explain it later. Then I fought another villager, defeated him, but his attacks made me meat and get an infection, which I removed. I used a small key to enter another house which had a rifle in it. That's very nice. We finally got to the manor and we got some crazy loot. Holy shit, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got 2 new ways to save the game. This is very lucky, by the way. And I met Henrik on the top floor, who was already losing it somehow. He was yapping about some garlic and stuff, and he was like looking at me with like very fucked up eyes. So I slapped him in the face and told him to pull himself together. He got back to earth and told me there was some stash food hidden in this manor that we could use. However, there was a problem. You see, someone is blocking our path. Also, remember that the rifle we picked up? Yeah, apparently Angry Man doesn't know how a rifle works somehow, which causes a huge problem. Normally you will shoot the priest because he can be a pain in the ass to fight. But this time I had no choice. I decided to fight him. I started by attacking his right arm. I missed, and in response, the priest started to show an expression that is known in the monkey world as submissive or extremely hostile. And I don't think the evil priest man is the kind of person who's gonna be submissive today. In fact, I was the submissive one, as he grabs me violently by the throat and starts to choke me out because I lost the fucking coin flip. My screen faded to black. I woke up to a local towns party that would probably been very fun if I wasn't the one experiencing the Our Lord and Savior experience with my legs being cut off. Man, it's so strange that when everyone is having fun, I am the one that is suffering. So unfair, so unfair. They dance for hours and hours on end, and with every hour, minute, second passing by, something was growing inside me. It was growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Remember in the beginning of the video that I told you I will explain to you later why I was so angry? Don't you think it's strange that I show you clips of a different character to explain some mechanics in this game? Yes. 14 hours of recording that I couldn't use. Because in every recording of it, my fucking mouse cursor on the middle of my fucking screen, which basically ruins my recording instantly. I remember disabling it, but I only did it on my game screen capture and not my regular screen capture. So I'm sitting here, 14 hours wasted, then I play as a different character, spending 40 fucking minutes playing just to lose to a fucking coin flip. Everyone is happy and dancing, and I am the one suffering. A broken man in a beautiful world with fucked up people. Enough! I had enough! I've been kicked in the balls one too many times by this fucking game. This time, I'll be the one to dance and everyone else can eat my ass. I got saved by August, but then he left me alone to distract the villagers. And you see, without my legs, traversal in this game becomes somewhat limited. So I decided to restart my game because if I wanted to play with my legs not working, I would have picked fucking Olivia. I speedran the game and took the same route and farmed everything again, but I accidentally ran into the woodsman. He looked menacingly, but sadly for him, he was faced by the most angriest person in the fucking world right now. I took his arm, then his manhood, and then his life. Instead of going to the town this time, I decided to go to the forest. I got ambushed by some wolves, killed them, and finally reached the tunnel. Then suddenly, a girl came passing by, named Abella. I decided to team up with her because I had a plan. I received free air from a chest, looted nearby shells for material for crafting later. But on my way through the tunnels, I find myself a familiar head. Oh my god, no. My fellow Asian friend. I pushed the block and got front row seat on the beheading of my Asian friend. Then the guy somehow got me through the box, initiating our first boss fight. Well, cue the epic boss fight music, gang. Man, I rewatched this fight and it looked very scuffed, like, god damn, but then again it was like 5 AM at the time. He had some heroin needles that I can use for later in the run, and I also got a lucky coin. I poured some gas in the tank, the nearby lift started to work, and I went down and connected the telekertoscope to the logic. Then I went on top of a ritual circle and got teleported to a parallel universe, where I had to run to the exit and dodge some hideous creatures. I escaped and met Pav, who reminded me that I was a fucking dumbass because I forgot to take the key of the dead soldier's corpse, making me go the entire way back down there to get that key. I made my way to the town doing the same route I did before, met August again, he hit me with the catch you later bud. Then I finally got back to the priest that molested me 1 hour ago, and it was time to get my revenge. And with that, we got our revenge. Let's go. But there was a problem. 2 problems to be exact. You see, problem 1, I had 1 HP and no way good to heal myself. Problem 2, we need 2 keys to open the gate to Preville. But the only way to get the second key is to go to sleep, return to the manor, and the mayor will spawn. And if you speak to him, he will give you the second key. But I didn't want to save my game just yet. So hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Trade offer. I get to stand on this random patch of grass and press enter on my keyboard, in exchange for me not saving the game right now and being extra greedy and extending my gameplay. I mean, yeah, technically I could go to sleep and not save as well, and you're probably thinking, man, this guy doesn't want to sleep because he wants to have more saves for a late game. Well, don't worry man, because in this playthrough we're not even getting past day 1.
Ahlelele, ahlelas. Ahlelele, ahlelas. Ahlelele.
I broke the chains on the gate, which allows me to have access to Pre-Evil City. And on scavenging my first trash can, I instantly received a healing item. I went inside a restaurant and took some money from the cash register, and when going further down, I saw a young orphan man in the kitchen having massive withdrawals of an heroin addiction. Of course, as the kind man I am, I offered him some of my spare needles in exchange for his alliance, to which he accepted. Weirdly enough, when entering our party, he already began to suffer from the withdrawal effect in less than a few seconds after taking a doses prior. I gotta be honest, I have never seen a more fucked up addiction than this. Impressive. By the way, here's my loadout at this point in the game. Nothing special, just some armor pieces that boost my defense stat and stuff. After leaving the restaurant, we got ourselves in a quarrel with the police of this town. I don't know why he chose to randomly attack me. Perhaps they aren't fond of my kind, if you know what I mean. Because I'm Asian. They have 3 arms and are able to attack thrice if all arms remain in their turn, which would have been a problem if I didn't hire the heroine orphan man next door. With 3 members we were able to remove Mr. Popo's arms and then give him a piece of his own medicine, by showing him how it feels to receive police brutality. After beating him, I eluded him and then proceeded to kick the shit out of him one last time. It's not because I hated him that I did that. You see, if you don't kick the shit out of the police when they are down, they will simply go back up and start patrolling again. Which I'd like to prevent if possible. When strolling a bit further, I spotted a man with a cat mask testing the impact of his bat on the random bag. Which is kinda weird, but at least he's not hurting anyone. I spoke with him and he told me his name was Pocket Cat, and that he had very deep pockets, you see. Mr. Pocket Cat here is actually a very important vendor in this game. He allows you to buy books in exchange for the heads of other contestants. He even sells the books that allows you to save on spot. He even sells you the books that allows you to save on spot. Sadly, I didn't have enough heads yet, so I told my goodbyes and ventured deeper into the city. Then, when looting a pair of trash cans, I actually got some insane RNG loot, giving me 1 blue vial and 2 light blue vials and a purifying talisman. By the way, light blue vials heal more than twice the regular blue vials, which is insane and good, by the way. After that, I gave the crew some alcohol to keep themselves from going insane. You see, every person here has a phobia. For example, me. I have erotophobia, which basically means I'm scared of balls. What does a phobia do? Well, if a naked man decided to hit me, my evasion rate will be lowered by 50% and I will take 50% more damage from him. It's kinda like Pokemon with their element weaknesses, except in this game we are scared of naked people, people with a physical disorder, or afraid of being beaten by the rod. And do you see this mind bar here? Well, this acts as our mana bar and also our sanity bar. If this reaches 0, you get all the phobias and there aren't any easy ways to remove that. So we have to keep ourselves sane with smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. After strolling through the city and beating minor difficult enemies, we actually got ourselves to a hideout. But before I entered it, I decided to extend even further without saving the game. I entered the town shopping mall, stealing a chain vest and taking a ring of a man's corpse. I really like the shopping mall music here. The artist of the song really expresses his feelings and it feels kinda relatable, you see. I entered the store which actually had a vendor in it that was mentally insane. He asked me for my name and then basically told me to go fuck myself. It must be the locals' way of saying hello. In response, I greeted him back by stealing all his shit that he had in the back of his store. After that, I entered an apartment and actually met the owner of it. In combat, he actually had kinda the upper hand because we're all weak to him with our phobias. He was partially naked, has a disforming body, and he had a really big rod. Or meat stick, or meat hammer. Luckily, his greatest flex was also his greatest weakness. We took his sack and then his life. You see, when you take away this enemy's PP privileges, it removes the evasion rate on his head, making him a guaranteed kill on turn 2. I took his plant and all the air he saved up in his chest. All this air is mine. After leaving the apartment, we actually got ourselves in a huge predicament. You see, this enemy is one of the most dangerous ones in the game, or at least in early to mid game. If you backtrack in this game and pass a coffin 3 times, a dead mask will spawn from the coffin. You do not want to fight a dead mask, because he has a lot of health on all his body parts and he can dismember your party's arms twice in a turn if you do not have arm guards or a necklace that can protect you from dismemberment. So I kinda got myself stuck because I didn't want him to block the path that I thought I was gonna backtrack. After starting the second logiscope, he catch up to us but we managed to escape and we ran off into the sewers. I was then greeted by the homeless people, who were hiding in the sewers perhaps too because of a dead mask. I felt relieved and finally thought I found myself some people that could help me in the predicament that I was in. At least that's what I thought until they all looked at my direction, stood up in unison, and started to march towards me with hostile tendencies. Sadly for them, I didn't have the homeless debuff, so I easily killed them all. Well, this is one way to solve homelessness, am I right, guys? I find myself a ladder going up, and ran back to the same place I was before. And now that I think about it, I actually didn't have to go down there and kill all the homeless people in the sewers. Anyway, I decided to take the death mask more at the upper part of the street, so I could backtrack more easily, but then another enemy started running and screaming while chasing me, and then this other guy with a silly little bell started like ringing and stuff, and there was so much stuff happening on the screen that my game was just starting to lag. I managed to clear my path and ventured deeper into the war zone part of the city. I got charged by one of those huge sack people again, but I dodged his rats, which would probably have one-shot me by the way, I think. I think this attack can like one-shot you. I killed him and kindly detached his head from his body. And finally I got myself to the forest part of the city, where I decided to finally save for the first time in this playthrough. I mean, there were too many close calls and I actually had some good progress that I really didn't want to lose this time. So I decided to save here. I ventured deeper into the forest and actually met Olivia, who had miraculously fixed the permanent damage she had in her legs. I stopped her from jogging and she told me she was a botanist, you see. I have a condition, you see. Luckily for her, I had a permanent solution for her condition. It's called death. I killed her and she actually had some very good loot, like I can craft some potions now for healing. But there was a problem. You see, she spreaded her quote-unquote condition to our heroin addicted orphan, which now had the irritation debuff, or basically scurvies. This debuff lowers his hit rate by like 30% or something, and there are only a few ways in this game to fix this condition, and I had none of those. So I was like, whatever. So we ventured deeper into the woods, where I got ambushed by the bird people who shoot poison darts from the bushes. I killed the first one, but the second bird managed to survive a bit longer, allowing him to blow his little fem whistle and summon a huge bird spirit behind him that has the ability to one-shot party members. Luckily, I won the coin flip, killed the bird dude and continued my quest. But then, oh my god, but then we encountered one of the most scariest enemies in the game, a horse. This horse can one-shot your entire party in one turn, and I really didn't want to fight this horse. So I looped him like it's DBD and finally went into the bunker for the second logiscope. In the bunker there's a decently strong enemy that's called Needles, so upon spotting her, I decided to give the orphan some heroin, so not only does his debuffs get removed from withdrawal, but he actually gets stronger too. And with that I was ready to start the fight. After killing her and going down the elevator, I finally collected my prize called the bench grinder. This thing allowing me to craft a specific weapon that I'll explain later on. I started the logiscope and backtracked, but I got myself in quite a predicament. Remember the horse? Well, the horse managed to perfectly block our path. I tried baiting him to the other side, but apparently he couldn't go through the gap. Or at least that's what I thought. Apparently I was the one getting bait. He suddenly out of nowhere goes through the gap straight to me. I really didn't want to fight him. So I escaped, but I had no sprint and he catched up to me again. Just before the next area. Which pissed me off so bad. Like, I was actually so pissed in this time. Oh my god. You have no idea. But luckily for me, I actually escaped twice in a row. For those that don't know, every time you escape, your next time you escape gets like lowered. Until you fail to escape, then it goes back up, I believe. And also something with transitioning from screen to screen, I think you also get a little bit of escape back. I'm not sure though. Also, remember all those villagers that were dancing and singing when I was suffering on the cross? Yeah, I killed them all. I sacrificed their heads to a god in exchange for soul fragments. Let that be a lesson for everyone out there, okay? Do not fuck with me. While killing the entire village, I actually met Karen. You see, Miss Karen here, in my previous playthrough, she framed me for killing the orphan, thinking I was the one that did it. And in this playthrough, she was getting a bit too cocky with her words. So I killed her, took her head and her soul. After that, I went back to the hideout that I mentioned earlier in the video. And there was even a secret basement that I found, but Abella was acting like she found it, and she even took credit for it, which I didn't like. So I teamed up with the heroin-addicted scurvy orphan and decided to kill her. I'm sorry, Abella, I'm too pissed off to be a simp today. For some reason, she really wasn't fond of the orphan kid, as you can see. She was completely ignoring me and just completely beating the shit out of the orphan. I took her head and her soul and saved my game again by going to sleep this time. Even an angry man, like me, needs his nap time once in a while. And I think right here is also the perfect time to end part 1 of the video. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching my video. And make sure to subscribe for part 2 of the video so you don't miss out on it. Because part 2, I promise you, part 2 is actually insane. Like, you'll see when I post it. Anyways, I love y'all. Goodbye.
I know you want it.